Hey, coin collectors and treasure hunters, did you know that some of the pennies in your pocket change could be worth a fortune? Today, we're diving into the top high-value wheat pennies that could be worth millions of dollars. Stick around to see if you have one of these rare coins hiding in your collection. First up, the 1944 Abraham Lincoln Wheat Copper 1-cent coin, minted during the peak of World War II, carries more significance than just its copper composition. This particular coin, despite being marred by scratches, damage, and a color change, remains one of the most fascinating and valuable pennies in the modern coin market. Let's dive into why this coin, even in such condition, holds a special place in the hearts of collectors. The 1944 Lincoln Wheat Cent is part of a series first introduced in 1909, designed by Victor David Brenner. The Lincoln Wheat penny was struck in copper until 1943, after which a brief period of steel pennies was issued due to wartime metal shortages. The 1944 pennies were produced from copper reclaimed from wartime shell casings, and it marked the return of the copper coinage. That being said, the 1944 Lincoln penny was minted in huge numbers. A total of over 1.1 billion of these pennies were produced, with the Philadelphia Mint producing the lion's share. Although this seems like a large number, certain specific variations, mint errors, and rare conditions can cause a 1944 penny to be worth much more than its face value. The design of the 1944 Lincoln Wheat penny is largely unchanged from the first release in 1909. On the obverse, we have the iconic bust of Abraham Lincoln facing right, created by Brenner. Below his image, the date 1944 is prominently displayed, with the inscription Liberty above and In God We Trust on the upper rim. To the left and right of Lincoln's bust are the letters VDB for Victor David Brenner, the designer which became highly controversial when first struck in 1909. You might wonder how a scratched, damaged, and color-changed 1944 penny could still hold value in today's market. The answer lies in the rarity of certain conditions, mint errors, and collector even in less than perfect condition. A 1944 penny could fetch anywhere from $52,000 based on its age and general appeal. However, those in exceptional condition or with specific mint errors can. In particular, 1944 pennies struck with unusual characteristics, such as misprints, double die errors, or even color changes due to corrosion, are highly sought after. Collectors look for subtle errors like overprints or incorrectly struck coins that are unique to certain years. Such variations can bring thousands of dollars at auction, especially if authenticated by a reputable grading service like the Numismatic Guarantee Corporation Professional Coin Grading Service. Despite the coin being scratched or dirty, its historical and collectible significance cannot be overstated. Many collectors focus on obtaining as many different variations of the 1944 penny as possible. This high demand for variations increases the value of even those in damaged conditions. The 1944 Lincoln Wheat penny is not only valuable for its historical importance, but it also attracts attention due to potential mint errors. Among the errors collectors look for are double dies, where the design was struck twice, and die breaks, which can create unique and rare patterns on the coin. While the general mintage of this coin was large, some of the most valuable errors include coins with double digits in the date, especially if they can be proven to be the result of an error rather than wear. Additionally, coins with noticeable color changes due to corrosion or improper cleaning can appeal to niche collectors who enjoy owning coins with history beyond just minting and design. Coins like these demonstrate how even imperfectly preserved coins can remain highly desirable and worth a great deal of money in the collector's market. Next up, we have another key piece in the wheat penny series, the 1917 Abraham Lincoln Wheat penny without a mint mark. This particular coin, while it may seem ordinary at first glance, is far more valuable than you might expect, especially in certain conditions. The 1917 wheat penny was minted in a period of significant historical importance. The United States had entered World War the previous year, and the nation was mobilizing its resources for the war effort. The economy was shifting, with the government introducing measures to finance the war, which had an impact on coinage production. The absence of a mint mark indicates that this particular penny was struck in the Philadelphia Mint, which was the primary minting facility for US coins at the time. This made the 1917 wheat penny with no mint mark a more common variety compared to other years, but it still has its own level of scarcity when it comes to higher-grade specimens. The 1917 wheat penny, like all coins in the series, features the beloved portrait of Abraham Lincoln on the obverse. The reverse displays 2 stalks of wheat, symbolizing the country's agricultural strength. This design has become an enduring symbol of American heritage, and it was used on the penny from 1909 to 1958. The 1917 wheat penny's design is considered one of the most iconic in American numismatics, and while there are no major design changes between 1917 and its predecessors, collectors still seek it for its historical significance and rarity. With over 200 million 1917 pennies minted, it may seem like this coin is not particularly rare. However, the market value of a 1917 wheat penny can still be significant, especially when it's in a damaged or heavily used condition. The 1917 penny without a mint mark in damaged condition typically fetches around $134,000 in today's auction market, depending on the level of wear. However, if you have a coin in decent shape, you may be able to sell it for $150,000 on rare occasions. A 1917 penny in well-worn condition with particular characteristics may attract more. As with the 1919 S penny, collectors are always on the lookout for error varieties in the 1917 wheat penny. One of the most common errors involves the infamous doubled die issue, where the design is misaligned during the minting process, resulting in a doubled image. While this error is rarer in 1917 pennies, it can significantly boost a coin's value. Collectors are also drawn to the 1917 penny for its historical context. While it is not as rare as some other pennies from the early 1900s, it is still a highly regarded coin in the world of numismatics. Its long history, the connection to the World War I era, and its role in the wheat penny series make it a coin worth collecting. Next up, we have the 1956 Abraham Lincoln Wheat copper 1-cent coin, another classic from the Lincoln series. In this case, we're talking about the large date variety, struck at the Philadelphia Mint, which does not carry a mint mark. Though this particular coin may be in dirty condition, let's explore why it remains valuable for collectors. The 1956 Lincoln Wheat penny was struck during a time of economic stability in the United States, following the end of World War II. The Lincoln series was already well established by the time this coin was minted. The penny had been a symbol of the nation's identity, honoring one of America's greatest presidents. In 1956, the US Mint produced about 1.1 billion Lincoln pennies. Like the 1944 penny, these were primarily composed of copper with a few variations in minting techniques. The large date variety, as compared to the regular date, was made with larger digits in the year, which became noticeable in the production process. This subtle difference has garnered significant attention in the coin collecting community, with many collectors specifically seeking out the large date variety. The large date refers to the specific way in which the digits in 1956 were struck, making them appear significantly larger than the regular date variety. This difference is subtle but highly sought after by collectors. A typical 1956 penny, even in a dirty condition, can fetch anywhere between $10,000 depending on its overall appearance and grade. However, the large date variety holds greater interest for collectors, and in better conditions, it can sell for upwards of $20,000 if the coin is well preserved or graded at higher levels such as MS64 or MIS65. The value can escalate considerably. Coins in damaged or ungraded condition are still popular among budget-conscious collectors who are more interested in obtaining the variety rather than a pristine example. As a result, even a dirty 1956 large date penny remains valuable to the right collector. Though the 1956 large date variety doesn't have as many known errors as some other years in the Lincoln Wheat series, the collector's interest is more about the variety itself. Over the years, the demand for this specific large date version has only grown, especially with clean, error-free examples becoming scarcer. With so many variations and mint marks to consider, collectors often look for subtle differences in the die, such as a weak strike or minor die cracks that could make the coin more rare and valuable. Next up coin of the day is the highly coveted 1919 Abraham Wheat penny with an S mint mark. While it may be hard to imagine that a penny, which was once worth just 1 cent, could have such a high market value today, the 1919 S Wheat penny is a true testament to the world of numismatics. The 1919 S Wheat penny was struck during a time of great social and economic upheaval in the United States. The country was emerging from World War I, and the Roaring Twenties were just beginning. This period in U.S. history was marked by rapid industrialization, cultural shifts, and a booming economy. However, it also saw the aftermath of a devastating global conflict, which impacted coinage production. The S mint mark indicates that this coin was minted in San Francisco, which was one of the primary facilities responsible for producing coins during the early 20th century. The 1919 C penny is part of the famous Abraham Lincoln Wheat series, designed by Victor David Brenner, who was tasked with creating a design that would commemorate the legacy of the 16th President of the United States. The 1919 S Wheat penny, like other coins in the series, features a profile portrait of Abraham Lincoln on the obverse. Lincoln's image, which became iconic in American coinage, is seen on the penny from 1909 to the present day. On the reverse, you'll find 2 wheat stalks framing the words 1 cent, which symbolize the agricultural backbone of the United States at the time. The design of this coin is simple yet powerful, capturing both the dignity of Lincoln and the agricultural prosperity of the United States. In terms of mintage, the 1919 S Wheat penny had a relatively low production rate compared to other years in the series. Only about 23 million were minted, which, while not the lowest for the series, still makes this particular coin a rarer find. Now, if you come across a 1919 S Wheat penny in circulated damage condition, you might not expect it to fetch a fortune. However, even in damaged states, this coin can hold incredible value. In today's auction market, a 1919 S Wheat penny in circulated condition with some damage can sell for anywhere between $400,000, depending on the extent of the damage and other factors like its overall appeal to collector. For well-preserved specimens, the value can skyrocket. A 1919 S Wheat penny in excellent or uncirculated condition has been known to fetch hundreds of dollars, with some even reaching over $410,000 at auction, especially when combined with other rare characteristics, such as being part of a set or being graded by a recognized third-party grading service. As with many sought-after coins, the 1919 S Wheat penny is not without its errors. Some collectors specifically search for coins that feature unique mistakes in the minting process, and these error varieties can significantly increase the value of errors that might be seen in the 1919 S Wheat penny include double dies, die cracks, and other misprints. Collectors are drawn to this coin for several reasons: the historical context, the relative rarity of the 1919 S penny, and the possibility of finding errors all contribute to its appeal. Whether you're a novice or a seasoned collector, the 1919 S Wheat penny is a coin worth keeping an eye out for. Next up, the 1948 Abraham Lincoln Wheat cent, also known as the Lincoln penny, is part of a long-standing tradition in U.S. coinage. Minted from 1909 to 1958, the Lincoln cent features the iconic design of President Abraham Lincoln, created by sculptor Victor David Brenner. The reverse of the coin displays 2 stalks of wheat, which is why it is called a wheat penny. The coin was produced as part of the U.S. Treasury's ongoing efforts to provide affordable and accessible currency to the general public during the post-war years. While the 1948 Lincoln penny was minted in large quantities, it is the condition and particular features of each coin that determine its value in the modern market. Specifically, this coin, with a red color lamination damage condition, holds a unique position among its peers. The obverse of the 1948 Lincoln penny features a portrait of President Lincoln, facing right. Surrounding his likeness is the inscription in God, "We trust with liberty," inscribed to the left, and the year of minting, 1948, to the reverse side, known for its wheat stalks, carries the words United States of America at the top e pluribus unum across the top, and the denomination 1 cent at the bottom. The red color lamination damage, often a result of flaws in the copper alloy during the minting process, has given this coin a fascinating aesthetic. The mintage of the 1948 Lincoln penny was significant, with over 1 billion coins struck in Philadelphia alone. While this means that the coin itself is not particularly rare, the value of a coin like this, especially in a lamination-damaged red condition, can be quite high in today's auction market. Coins with unusual characteristics, such as lamination damage, where the copper layer peels away, create a unique aesthetic that catches the eye of collectors. This kind of damage can be considered an error or a feature, depending on the collector's perception. The value of a 1948 Lincoln penny in red color lamination damage condition can vary widely. In typical auction scenarios, a coin in such a state might fetch anywhere between $500,000, depending on the extent of the damage and the coin's overall appeal to collectors. It is particularly sought after by those looking for rare era coins that stand out from standard issues. However, a coin with this kind of damage might also appeal to those who specialize in collecting pieces with unique, visually striking flaws. Collectors of error coins are often drawn to examples like the 1948 Lincoln penny with lamination damage because these coins are unusual and often harder to find. For coin collectors, errors like lamination damage can create an appealing narrative about the coin's creation and the imperfections involved in its minting process. It's this allure that elevates its value. Some collectors may even seek out coins with lamination damage specifically because it offers a break from the usual pristine condition of many coins in the collection. As with any unique or error coin, the condition, market demand, and collector interest can all influence the price of a 1948 penny with lamination damage. Additionally, there's always a degree of subjectivity in how much collectors are willing to pay for a coin with distinctive characteristics. Next up, the 1935 Abraham Lincoln Wheat penny, minted with a D-mint mark at the Denver Mint, was struck during the height of the Great Depression. The year 1935 marked a significant point in U.S. history as President Franklin D. Roosevelt's New Deal policies began to take effect in an attempt to recover from the economic collapse of the previous years. The 1935 penny would have been used in everyday transactions, a far cry from the rarer specimens we see today. While the coin was an integral part of daily life in the 1930s, its place in coin collections today is shaped by its enduring popularity among numismatists and collectors. The 1935 D-Wheat penny had a fairly standard mintage of around 50 million pieces, which makes it moderately common. However, the market value of a coin with lamination damage and showing significant use can be affected. In typical conditions, the coin might range from $10,000 in value, but when the coin has unique characteristics, such as lamination damage, it can see an increase in interest, especially if collectors are keen on purchasing error coins. In some cases, the lamination error might cause a coin to fetch a higher auction price, potentially ranging anywhere between $20,000 depending on the severity of the damage and the level of interest at the time. While not one of the rarest error coins, a well-documented lamination error can certainly appeal to specialized collectors looking for an interesting variant. The obverse of the 1935 D. Lincoln penny features the familiar left-facing portrait of President Abraham Lincoln, with the words "In God We Trust" and "Liberty" inscribed around it. The reverse features the 2 wheat stalks and 1 cent in the center, with the mint mark D under the word "1" in a coin with lamination damage. The visual integrity of these details will be affected, which is why collectors must carefully assess such coins. The most interesting aspect of the 1935 D penny with lamination damage is the error itself. Lamination errors occur when there is a flaw in the planchet, the metal disc that will be struck into a coin, causing layers of metal to peel away. This damage can range from slight cracks to more significant tears, which can make the coin look quite unique and highly desirable to collectors of error coins. In the world of coin collecting, errors like these are prized because they offer a glimpse into the manufacturing process and represent a deviation from the normal production. As such, collectors often seek out these coins for their rarity and distinctiveness. A 1935 penny with lamination damage and in used condition holds appeal for those who specialize in error coins, making it a valuable find for the right collector. While the 1935 D wheat penny might not be the most expensive penny in the market, its distinctive lamination error, historical context, and continued collector interest make it a coin worth tracking. The rarity of error coins like this one only adds to their value in the auction world, and it's a prime example of how minor flaws can make a coin significantly more valuable. Next up, the 1953 Lincoln penny is one of the most recognizable coins in US numismatics, representing the post-World War II era. The coin's design remains the same as it was when first introduced in 1909, but by the 1950s, the US Mint was facing significant pressure to produce enough pennies to meet the demands of a growing economy. The large date design was introduced in 1952, and the 1953 coin continued with this feature, marking the year as part of a broader numismatic tradition. The mint mark D indicates that the coin was minted in Denver, Colorado, a key minting facility responsible for producing millions of pennies each year. While the 1953 penny was struck in large numbers, the condition and unique characteristics of each coin determine its value, especially in the case of a coin with a dark purple color and dirty condition. Like the 1948 penny, the 1953 Lincoln cent features the same iconic design. The obverse depicts Abraham Lincoln, while the reverse showcases the two stalks of wheat. The coin's large date feature refers to the slightly larger digits in the year 1953, which distinguished it from other pennies of the era. The D mint mark indicates that it was produced in Denver. The dark purple discoloration on this particular coin adds a layer of intrigue, likely a result of environmental exposure or chemical reactions over time. The dirty condition of this penny, with its darkened, purple hue, is not uncommon among coins that have been exposed to contaminants or harsh conditions for long periods. Despite this, the color change can make it unique and particularly attractive to some collectors who enjoy coins with unusual patinas. With a mintage of over 1 billion coins in 1953, the Lincoln cent is not rare by typical standards. However, the value of a coin in dark purple color and dirty condition could vary greatly. While coins in pristine or even moderately worn condition may fetch a relatively low price, coins with noticeable discoloration or dirt may hold additional appeal for collectors of non-standard coins. A 1953 penny in dirty condition might be worth anywhere from $62,000 depending on its exact characteristics and the demand for these unique pieces. Similar to the previous example, the interest in the 1953 Lincoln penny in dirty, dark purple condition lies in its uniqueness. Some collectors are specifically interested in coins that have aged in unusual ways, leading to unique color changes or surface conditions. These coins often become more desirable due to their rare appearance. The D mint mark further increases its value for collectors who are interested in the specific mintage or regional variations of the Lincoln cent series. While not an error in the traditional sense, coins like these are often grouped into oddities or curiosities in the coin world, where their value can be greatly affected by the collector's interest in acquiring visually distinct or unique pieces. Next up, the 1919 Abraham Lincoln wheat penny is a fascinating piece of American history. Struck during the final years of the Great War, this penny carries a rich historical background. After World War I ended in 1918, America was transitioning from wartime to peacetime economics. The coinage system at the time was dominated by the wheat penny, first introduced in 1909 to commemorate President Abraham Lincoln's 100th birthday. The 1919 Lincoln penny without a mint mark was struck at the Philadelphia Mint. This year marks the end of the intense wartime production era, with the US government focusing on stabilizing the economy and addressing the return of soldiers. The designs remained consistent throughout the early 20th century, with the wheat motif representing prosperity and America's agricultural backbone. The 1919 Lincoln penny was produced in large numbers, with over 250 million of them minted at the Philadelphia Mint. However, despite its high mintage, it remains a coin of significant interest to collectors today due to its enduring appeal. The value of a 1919 Lincoln penny in good condition can vary widely depending on several factors, including market trends and demand at any given time. In general, a 1919 Lincoln penny in good condition, which means it shows heavy wear but the key details are still visible, can fetch between $52,000 in most auctions. However, if you find one in exceptionally good quality or a higher grade, the price could skyrocket into the thousands of dollars. In recent auction sales, well-maintained examples have sold for over $55,000. The 1919 Lincoln penny features the iconic design by Victor David Brenner. On the obverse, we see a left-facing portrait of Abraham Lincoln, with the inscription "Liberty to the right, in God we trust" above, and 1919 as the year of issue below. The reverse of the coin displays two stalks of wheat encircling the words 1 cent and a pluribus unum, the U.S. national motto. The sharpness of the wheat stalks and the clarity of Lincoln's features are essential in determining the coin's value. The coin's wear and tear can have a significant impact on how much it might be worth in the auction market. While the 1919 Lincoln penny doesn't have a particular era associated with it that drives massive demand, its historical context makes it a favorite among collectors. The absence of a mint mark indicates it was minted in Philadelphia, and it is one of the staple years for collectors trying to build complete wheat penny collections. Its moderate rarity and historical significance make it a valuable addition to any collection. When looking at the overall collector interest, the demand for well-preserved examples, or even those with slight errors or variants, can increase the coin's desirability in the market. If you happen to come across a 1919 Lincoln penny in your collection, don't overlook it. Its historical context, collectible value, and unique design features make it a coin worth preserving and possibly even investing in for today's market and future. Next up, we have the 1936 Abraham Lincoln Wheat Copper 1 cent coin. This penny is particularly fascinating because of its design, history, and its status as one of the most valuable pennies in the market. Minted in 1936, this coin falls into the category of the Abraham Lincoln Wheat pennies. These coins were minted from 1909 to 1958 and are one of the most iconic series of coins in the history of the United States. The 1936 Lincoln penny is part of a series that was first issued to honor the 16th President of the United States, Abraham Lincoln. However, it's the absence of the mint mark on this particular coin that contributes to its rarity and value. In 1936, the U.S. Mint produced pennies with no mint mark, which means it was struck at the Philadelphia Mint. But what makes this particular coin stand out even more is the color it has developed over the years. This example has taken on a golden hue, likely due to its age and the chemical processes it's undergone over the decades. Now, let's take a closer look at its design. On the obverse, we have a bust of Abraham Lincoln, created by sculptor Victor David Brenner. This was the first U.S. coin to feature a portrait of a sitting president, which made it groundbreaking at the time of its release. Lincoln's face, centered on the coin, gazes to the right, and above him are the words "In God we trust." The date 1936 is inscribed below the bust, signifying the year of minting. On the reverse, we find the familiar wheat stalks, which are the hallmark of the wheat penny series. The coin's reverse also displays a pluribus unums and 1 cent in bold lettering, surrounded by the wheat stalks. This design was a symbol of American agriculture and prosperity, two things Lincoln greatly valued. With a mintage of over 500 million coins in 1936, this penny was mass-produced, but due to its age and the specific qualities of this particular coin, its fine condition and golden tint, it has gained a lot of collector interest. Coins from this year are still widely found in various conditions, but it is the high-quality examples that fetch the highest prices at auctions. In terms of market value, this coin has been known to sell for anywhere from $300,000 in fine condition, depending on its specific grade, color, and the particular auction. However, in exceptional condition, especially with a golden hue and minimal wear, the price can skyrocket to over $315,000 or more. Collectors especially seek this coin due to its combination of historical significance and the rarity of finding it in pristine condition. Interestingly, the 1936 Lincoln Wheat penny is not known for any major errors. However, finding a specimen that has developed this unique gold color adds to its mystique. Many collectors look for coins that have unique qualities, and this one certainly checks that box. The appeal of this penny goes beyond its physical characteristics. It carries the weight of history, especially in terms of its connection to the legacy of Abraham Lincoln, whose leadership during the Civil War reshaped the United States. Next up, the 1937 Lincoln Wheat penny was minted during the Great Depression, a period of economic turmoil in the United States that lasted throughout much of the 1930s. The coin was produced as part of the ongoing efforts to circulate a low-cost currency to facilitate everyday transactions. This era was marked by massive unemployment, widespread poverty, and significant challenges for many American families. As the US government worked to combat the Depression through various New Deal programs, the production of coins like the Lincoln cent continued at a steady pace. The 1937 penny, like its predecessors, was designed by Victor David Brenner and features the iconic portrait of Abraham Lincoln on the obverse. The reverse displays two stalks of wheat, symbolizing the agricultural backbone of the United States. The penny was issued without a mint mark, indicating it was produced at the Philadelphia Mint. In many ways, the 1937 penny represents the resilience of the American public during a difficult time in the country's history. The design features of the 1937 Lincoln Wheat penny are consistent with the familiar design found on all Lincoln cents of the era. Despite the coin's condition described as dirty, these design features can still be discerned, though they may show signs of wear, dirt, or oxidation. A penny in dirty condition may exhibit discoloration, surface stains, and even mild corrosion, but the basic design elements will still be legible. The mintage of the 1937 Lincoln Wheat penny was approximately 317 million coins, which was a relatively high production number for the time. Despite the high mintage, this coin is sought after by collectors due to its historical context and its place in the Lincoln Wheat penny series. Pennies from the 1930s, especially those in good to fine condition, are often prized for their age and historical relevance. The 1937 Lincoln Wheat penny, even in dirty condition, can still hold significant market value due to its historical importance and its place in the Lincoln cent series. Coins in dirty condition typically command lower prices than those in cleaner, more pristine conditions. However, even a dirty coin can be worth anywhere from $66,000 depending on the level of wear and tarnish. A more valuable coin in the same year in a higher grade, such as fine or very fine, can range from $72,000 or more in today's auction market. While a coin in dirty condition may not reach the heights of a clean, uncirculated example, collectors still show interest in acquiring coins like the 1937 penny, especially if they are working on completing a series or adding coins with historical significance to their collection. Next up, we have a classic example from the late stage of the Wheat penny series, the 1958 Lincoln Wheat penny. What sets this coin apart is the large date and the D mint mark. In circulated condition, it might not look like much at first glance. But let's dig into why this coin is incredibly valuable. The 1958 penny marks the final year of the Lincoln Wheat penny series, making it a significant coin for collectors. By this point, the US Mint had been using the Wheat penny design for nearly 50 years, but in 1959, it would be replaced by the Lincoln Memorial design that we are familiar with today. The 1958 series represents the tail end of an era, and for this reason, it holds particular interest for collectors. While the 1958 large date is not as rare as some might expect, the presence of the D mint mark indicates it was minted in Denver. This minting location is especially significant because the Denver Mint produced a larger proportion of these pennies compared to other facilities. The obverse of this coin features the well-known bust of Abraham Lincoln, designed by Victor David Brenner. The design is consistent with other pennies from this series, featuring Lincoln in profile, along with the year 1958 and the inscription "In God We Trust." The reverse showcases the iconic wheat stalks, which are synonymous with the wheat penny series. The presence of the D mint mark on the reverse indicates that this coin was struck at the Denver Mint, making it more sought after by collectors who specialize in mint mark variations. Over 1 billion 1958 pennies were produced, but as with many other coins in this era, its value is determined not just by the quantity minted, but by the condition and specific features of the coin. The large date variety is commonly found in circulation, but it's still highly collectible due to its historical significance as the last year of the series. In circulated condition, the 1958 large date with a D mint mark typically sells for around $9,000 depending on its wear. However, coins in better grades, such as fine or very fine, can sell for upwards of $43,000 if you're lucky enough to find a coin in extremely fine or higher condition. The value can reach as high as $68,000, especially if the coin has been well preserved and has that beautiful coppery sheen. One of the most notable aspects of the 1958 penny is its large date. While there are no major errors in the minting of this coin, collectors enjoy the variations in the size of the numbers, which is why it's referred to as the large date variety. This type of variation is highly sought after by those collecting specific features or particular years within the series. Beyond its minting details, the 1958 Lincoln wheat penny is also desirable because it represents the closing chapter of the wheat penny era, making it a fitting piece for any serious collection. Next up, the 1958 Lincoln wheat cent without a mint mark is a remarkable coin from the final year of the wheat series. As the last coin of the series, it holds a special place in both history and the hearts of collectors. Even in circulated condition, these coins have remained popular among numismatists due to their scarcity and association with the end of an era in American coinage. The Lincoln wheat cent design was first introduced in 1909, marking the beginning of a new era for U.S. coinage. By the time 1958 rolled around, the series had seen multiple design changes and was finally approaching its end. In 1959, the design was changed to the Lincoln Memorial cent, which replaced the wheat ears on the reverse with the Lincoln Memorial, a design that would become iconic for the next several decades. The 1958 Lincoln cent is particularly interesting because it marks the last year of the wheat cent design. Although the US Mint produced these coins in massive quantities, the change in design for the following year means that the 1958 coins are viewed as the final relics of a particular design era. This makes them an important part of American numismatic history. 1958, no mint mark, approximately 1,183,410,000 coins with such a high mintage. The 1958 Lincoln wheat cent is not particularly rare. However, what makes it special is its place in history, as it was the last year for the wheat design before the shift to the Lincoln Memorial cent. The obverse of the 1958 cent features the well-known image of Abraham Lincoln, designed by Victor David Brenner. The portrait of Lincoln is surrounded by the inscriptions "In God We Trust," "Liberty," and the date, which in the case of this coin is 1958. A distinguishing feature of this coin is the lack of a mint mark, indicating it was produced in Philadelphia, the primary mint for the majority of US coins. In circulated condition, the 1958 Lincoln wheat cent can have a market value of $33,000 depending on its condition. Coins in higher grades, such as those that are in better than average circulated condition, may fetch prices ranging from $39,000. The value of the 1958 Lincoln wheat cent increases if the coin is well preserved, with minimal wear, or if it has been professionally graded. Coins that have a unique characteristic, such as being part of a rare hoard or having an exceptional history, might be worth much more. Like the 1952 D penny, the 1958 Lincoln cent is not immune to errors. If a 1958 cent has been struck off-center, double-struck, or exhibits other minting anomalies, its value can increase dramatically. Such error coins are highly collectible and can be worth far more than a standard 1958 cent. The 1958 coin also holds significant interest for collectors who focus on US coins from the 1950s, especially those that are part of the final series before the design change. This adds a layer of appeal for collectors who focus on last-year coins if you enjoyed this video. Next up, the 1952 Lincoln Wheat cent with the D mint mark is one of the most iconic coins in American numismatics. While many might think that a dirty coin isn't worth much, it's crucial to understand that the value of a coin can often be influenced by factors such as rarity, demand, and even the historical significance behind it. The Lincoln Wheat cent was first introduced in 1909 to commemorate the 100th anniversary of Abraham Lincoln's birth. Designed by Victor David Brenner, the coin was produced for almost half a century until 1958, when it was replaced by the Lincoln Memorial cent. The 1952 edition is notable not just for its design, but for its place in the long history of the Lincoln cent. The D mint mark refers to coins minted at the Denver Mint, which produced a significant portion of the coinage during that. In 1952, the United States was post-World War II, a time of economic growth and prosperity. This coin was minted during a period of high production, yet even with a relatively high mintage, there are still certain factors that can make these coins rare and valuable today. The 1952 Lincoln Wheat cent with a D mint mark was minted in large quantities. The mintage numbers for this coin: 1952, approximately 1,090,000,000 coins. Despite the large mintage, there are several conditions and factors that make specific 1952 D pennies much rarer and more valuable than others, even if they are in dirty or less than perfect condition. These pennies were widely circulated and spent, leading to wear and tear over time, but that doesn't necessarily diminish their value. The design of the 1952 Lincoln cent remained unchanged from previous years. On the obverse, we have the familiar portrait of Abraham Lincoln, designed by Victor David Brenner. Lincoln's profile is depicted in a side view, with the inscriptions "Liberty" and "In God We Trust" surrounding. The date, 1952, appears below the bust, and the D mint mark can be found just below the date. On the reverse side, we find the iconic 2 ears of wheat framing the words "E pluribus unum," with United States of America and 1 cent around the rim. The wheat ears were a symbol of America's agricultural history and the importance of the nation's economy, which was primarily driven by farming. The 1952 D penny was produced using a copper composition weighing 3.11 grams and with a diameter of 19 mm. This copper composition, particularly in older coins, tends to develop a patina or dirt accumulation over time, especially when coins are not stored in ideal conditions. In today's auction market, the 1952 Lincoln Wheat cent in dirty condition can still fetch a decent price, even though it might not seem to have much value at first glance. The value of any coin depends largely on the degree of rarity, condition, and demand. For a 1952 D Lincoln cent in dirty or circulated condition, prices generally range from $4,000 depending on the extent of damage, dirt, or wear. However, if the coin is part of a rare find, say a small hoard of coins with unusual characteristics or a particular history, its value could rise. It's always worth noting that dirt can sometimes hide details on a coin that the right cleaning technique can also sometimes reveal a coin's true worth, though it's critical to be cautious because cleaning a coin improperly can drastically reduce its value. Coins with imperfections, errors, or misprints often have higher collector interest. For example, if a 1952 D Lincoln penny has been double-struck, or if the minting process caused an odd mark or alignment issue that could add significant value. Errors like this are highly sought after by numismatists and can raise the coin's price considerably. The dirty condition of a coin doesn't necessarily take away from its collector's appeal, especially if it's rare or holds historical significance. Many collectors appreciate coins with a history that includes signs of wear and circulation, as they tell the story of the coin's journey through. Next up, the 1956 Abraham Lincoln Wheat penny is an iconic coin in the history of U.S. currency. Struck at the Denver Mint, this penny is part of the Lincoln Wheat cent series, which was minted from 1909 to 1958. The large date designation refers to the size of the numerals on the date side of the coin, which is distinct from the small date version. These large date pennies are often considered more desirable among collectors due to their noticeable difference in appearance, making them easier to identify and trace within the series. In 1956, the United States economy was booming in the post-World War II era. The country was experiencing prosperity, but the design of the penny remained unchanged from the original Lincoln wheat cent introduced in 1909. Despite the year being unremarkable in terms of significant historical events, the coin's design, featuring President Abraham Lincoln on the obverse, continued to reflect the nation's admiration for its 16th president. The obverse features a portrait of Abraham Lincoln, facing right, created by Victor David Brenner. The reverse side depicts two wheat stalks, symbolizing the nation's agricultural roots, a design that was quite unique at the time. The 1956 Lincoln wheat penny, in particular, is special due to the well-preserved nature of some examples that still hold a high value. The 1956 large date with a D mint mark was struck in high numbers. Over 1 billion coins were minted at the Denver Mint. With such a high mintage, one would assume these coins would be relatively easy to find, but this is where condition becomes a major factor. A 1956 D wheat penny in very fine condition is rare enough to command impressive prices in the current market. While these coins are not as rare as some other years, their value can range from $85,200 depending on the condition. However, in very fine condition, with minimal wear and excellent details, this penny can fetch much higher values, sometimes up to $100,000 in auctions or private sales. The quality of the minting and the coin's preservation play a significant role in determining its value. Coins that are carefully preserved without heavy scratches, discoloration, or oxidation. The design of the 1956 D Lincoln wheat penny is a continuation of the classic wheat cent series, but there are a few things collectors look for when assessing this coin. First, the size of the date. In the large date version, the numerals are spaced farther apart and are more prominent. Secondly, the D mint mark, which represents the Denver Mint, adds a level of rarity to the coin. Some coins from this year feature noticeable errors, such as double dies, where the die struck the coin multiple times. These errors are highly sought after by collectors because they are rare and add to the unique value of. Collectors are deeply interested in this particular coin due to its position within the Lincoln wheat series. Although it is not as rare as coins from years with lower mintage, the coin's design and historical significance make it an attractive piece for those looking to build a comprehensive collection. Additionally, the 1956 D coin is often included in sets that showcase the evolution of the Lincoln wheat penny over the years, making it a key coin for many numismatists. The scarcity of this coin in very fine condition makes it highly desirable among collectors. Even though a large number of these coins were produced, the preservation of the minting details is key to their valuation. Coins that are free from damage, such as scratches or discoloration, are especially valuable. First up, the 1918 Abraham wheat penny is one of the most sought-after coins in the history of American numismatics. The coin was minted during a pivotal time in U.S. history, right in the middle of World War I, a global conflict that deeply impacted the United States and the rest of the world. The minting of this coin came at a time when the US government was heavily involved in the war effort and the country was facing substantial economic and political challenges. The production of pennies during this period was particularly important as they were widely circulated for everyday transactions, serving as a vital part of the American economy. The Abraham wheat penny design, named after President Abraham Lincoln, had been in circulation since 1909, designed by sculptor Victor David Brenner. The obverse of the coin features the iconic portrait of Lincoln, while the reverse showcases two wheat stalks that symbolize the nation's agricultural heritage. These pennies were struck at the Philadelphia Mint without a mint mark, signifying that they were produced in the primary mint of the United States. The 1918 penny carries historical significance, particularly because of its timing and the challenges the country faced during World War I. The penny became not only a symbol of the era, but also a testament to the nation's resilience during a tumultuous. The mintage of the 1918 Lincoln wheat penny without a mint mark was quite large compared to other years, with approximately 286 million pennies struck at the Philadelphia Mint. However, despite the high mintage, the 1918 penny has remained a sought-after coin among collectors due to its relatively good preservation and historical importance. Collectors appreciate the fact that the coin is a regular issue from the Lincoln Cent series, making it both common yet significant for collectors of both Lincoln and US coinage as a whole. The overall design is simple yet elegant, emphasizing both Lincoln's image and the agricultural symbolism of the nation at the time. The 1918 penny in fine condition exhibits noticeable wear, but the wheat stalks and Lincoln's portrait remain distinguishable, making it a collectible piece. The 1918 Lincoln wheat penny, without a mint mark, holds a significant place in the market. While the mintage was high, its market value has been influenced by factors such as its age, condition, and the fact that it is a part of the Lincoln Cent series. A coin in fine condition with moderate wear, but details still visible, can fetch anywhere from $346,000 at auction, depending on the specific demand and rarity of the coin in that condition. However, in extremely fine or uncirculated conditions, prices can rise significantly, reaching values upwards of $350,000. The market for this coin is also impacted by collector interest in acquiring coins from the Lincoln Wheat series. Collectors are particularly interested in coins from earlier years, especially those produced during times of national significance, like the 1918 penny. Coins from this period, despite their higher mintage, can command a premium due to their historical value and the desirability of acquiring them for complete sets. Errors can play a major role in the valuation of coins. While the 1918 Lincoln penny is not commonly known for major errors, there are still some variations that collectors may find appealing. One such error is the 1918 7 overdate, where the 8 appears to have been struck over a 7. This error, though rare, can significantly increase the value of the coin, with some 1918 7 overdate pennies fetching hundreds or even thousands of dollars, depending on the grade. The 1918 penny has also garnered considerable collector interest due to its status as part of a significant series in American numismatics. The Lincoln Wheat penny series was minted from 1909 to 1958, and collectors enjoy trying to complete the set, with certain years being more elusive than. The 1918 penny may not be the rarest coin in the series, but its importance, historical context, and relatively low price for collectors make it a popular choice for those seeking to expand their collections. Next up, the 1941 Abraham Lincoln Wheat penny is another crucial piece in the long history of US coinage. The large date designation is particularly interesting because, similar to the 1956 example, the size of the date appears larger compared to the small date version. The 1941 S Wheat penny is distinguished by its mint mark. S stands for the San Francisco Mint, where this particular batch of pennies was. The 1941 Lincoln Wheat penny was produced during the year that marked the beginning of the United States' entry into World War II. Although this coin is tied to a tumultuous period in history, the year 1941 in itself wasn't particularly notable for the coin's design or production. The 1941 penny remains one of the standard issues of the series, carrying the familiar design by Victor David Brenner that had been in circulation since 1909. With a mintage of around 200 million coins at the San Francisco Mint, the 1941 S Wheat penny is relatively common, but finding one in fine condition can be challenging. Coins in fine condition typically show moderate wear but retain much of their design elements, including clear details in the wheat stalks on the reverse. The market value of the 1941 S Lincoln Wheat penny in fine condition can range from $92,000 depending on the overall condition. However, in higher grades such as very fine or extra fine, the value can rise significantly, with auction results occasionally reaching up to $144,000 or more. The 1941 S Wheat penny features the same basic design elements as other pennies of the era: Abraham Lincoln on the obverse and the wheat stalks on the reverse. Mint mark on this coin is an important detail for collectors, as coins struck at the San Francisco Mint tend to have slightly better quality in terms of strike and preservation compared to other mints. A collector may also look for errors or variations in this coin. For example, some coins might show signs of doubling on the date or the word liberty. These kinds of mistakes add to the value, and they are especially sought after by collectors who focus on misprints and minting flaws. Despite the relatively high mintage, the 1941 S. Lincoln penny continues to be a popular coin among collectors, particularly those who specialize in the Lincoln Wheat Cent series. The scarcity of coins in fine condition, coupled with the uniqueness of the S mint mark, makes this penny highly desirable. Moreover, the connection to the early years of Wui adds an additional layer of historical interest for numismatists. Thanks for joining us. Happy collecting!